Alright, well here we are with some more collective effort, doing some more Modern Horizons 2 card testing. We have printed out some more proxies, and these times some of them came out a little shorter than previously. So if you notice that some of them are a little funky looking, apologies. We'll try and get that fixed. But
it's all Mike's fault.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that too.
We could also just play UPS, but...
So yeah, I mean, we got, it's Michael here playing. Today I'll be playing Esper Stoneblade in our first matchup, and then I believe we said Merfolk in the second matchup,
yeah.
Right? And then my last deck for the day is going to be Green-Black Infect, all just showcasing different MH2 cards. This list right here I took from Aspiring Spike. Seems like it'll be pretty decent. It'll be down below in the comments, or rather in the description, so if you want to take a look, go ahead and check it out. Lily, you want to talk a little about what you're doing today?
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing a couple decks I found online and on Twitter. First off, we're going to be doing a Titania deck. That it's an 80 card Eolian deck. It has the Devoted Druid, Vizier combo. It has Neither Reliquary with Titania to get a little bit of synergies. It has Elvish Reclaim with Flagstone and the Dryad and Valakut combos in there. So
a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. 80 cards, gotta have a lot going on. So,
and you also forgot the Karn package as well, too.
Oh, yes.
To find Zurin Orb out of the sideboard, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, Zoranov, end of Michael's son, ideally sack some lands, kill him.
Yeah.
Hasty 5/3s.
Makes 5/3s, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, we're going to probably have to use 3/3s for it, but that will be fine.
Well.
They'll have 5 power, but in this matchup, their power versus toughness isn't really going to make too much of a difference for us, so yeah, that'll be our best bet. And then what do you have going on after that?
Oh,
so that's going to play against Esper Blade.
I got an Affinity list and the Food-Gaak that different from the Hollowvine deck that Michael was trying out. Like, was it last week, or was that just a straight Hollow One deck?
Yeah, it was just a straight Hollow.
Okay.
I mean, it was a Hollowvine deck, so it's definitely different. This one...
Yeah, it's more like Jund mid-range with more sacrifice elements with the Oven Cat combo along with Oval Chase Daredevil to infinitely get food tokens with the Underworld Cookbook.
Yeah. Alright, so, yeah, that's what's going on. We got Esper Blade versus, what are you going to call it?
Green White Valley Town.
Cool, that's what we'll call it. You want to go odd or even?
Even.
Even, alright. 6, you got it. I don't think the play draw is going to matter a whole ton here.
No.
But who knows for sure.
5, 6, 7.
Good luck to you.
Same to you, and I'm going to keep this.
Oh boy.
This is looking good.
Yeah, this is fine.
Alright, I'll go Force Utopia Sprawl.
Seems good.
Draw a card and pass.
What?
Oh, is that not how that...
Nope, Utopia Sprawl does not draw cards.
Oh, yes, my apologies.
It's not a, what's the other one, Abundant Growth?
Yes, Abundant Growth.
Yeah, so this one just names it color.
Yeah,
so
white.
Okay, cool.
My bad.
You're fine. Scalding Tar, go ahead.
Used to Pioneer one.
Yep.
Doesn't quite change a whole lot. You know, Flagstones into Elvish Reclaimer.
Yep.
And pass.
I'm going to fetch on instep. Tried to get out ahead of it so I could be done by the time Lily was done with her turn, but that did not work.
No.
You said you chose white for that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have...
I have a white floating.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if...
Draw. Okay, not our best draw. I'll just pass. This has not lined up super great with our draws so far, but...
Draw? We'll make a white.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough. So... sacrifice this.
Yep.
I have 1 green floating.
So you get any land from the Reclaimer.
Yep.
Tapped, and you get any planes from the Flagstones tapped.
Yep, we'll just do...
Right, the Flagstones puts it into play tapped, right?
Yes. Yes, it does. We'll do basic planes off Flagstone. And we will progress towards a combo we can play with a Valakut.
Cool. Still one green floating.
Yep, unfortunately not going to be able to do anything with that, so we're going to play the green-white bounce land. I believe that's what I have in my hand. It could be the Canopy Vista, but we'll see. Would you like to cut?
You're good.
Yeah, Selesnya Sanctuary picking up the planes.
Cool.
And pass.
Oh boy. Not been great draws, I'll say that much. I'll play this tapped and pass.
Untap.
Yep.
Cube draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Attempt to cast this Titan.
I will counterspell that.
Oh, look at that. We'll pass.
Yikes. Go.
Draw.
No. Stop.
Michael. Pass.
Okay. Tap. Draw.
I should have
cards in
attacked
hand?
you, Paul. Yeah.
Attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I have 3 cards in hand.
Alright. I'll play a Stoneforge.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and find... I'm gonna find Batterskull, I guess. Seems good enough. I will play a Drowned Catacombs and pass.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Other armies call?
I'll force negation that. Can't let that go find another Titan. That's a problem.
Shock.
Okay.
Summons back.
Yeah. Well, in her 80-card deck, she still had 4 Titans in the top 10 cards, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Always.
Alright, yep.
Titan trigger.
Yep.
We will...
2, 3, 4, 5. You do need to sack with this as well, too, right?
2,
3, 4.
5. Yes, I'm...
Yep.
My apologies.
You're fine. It doesn't functionally change much, but yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we thought we were safe for 1 turn.
So off Titan we'll have another Flagstone. And...
So you found the Canopy off the fetch, is what you're saying?
Yes,
Canopy. Gotcha. Cool.
And this forced.
But I have Forest now, too. Doesn't change anything. It can get my thing up to 4.
Yeah,
it's not possible to get up to 6. Alright.
No, I was thinking with something else, but yeah, no.
Alright. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. That's definitely a problem for us. I have a feeling that that might have been okay last turn, and this turn it's going to do absolutely nothing. So that's fun. I'll play an Esper Sentinel.
Okay.
Play a land, and I will pass.
Untap. Upkeep.
Paper Pact.
Yep. We'll just do these ones.
Yep.
Drop a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Let's see. I'm going to consult my wish. We'll go to combat?
Sure.
Should go.
Yep. you got some cool lands to find in there, some cool 1-0s, I'm sure. In 80 cards, there's a lot of pretty sweet things you can find, right?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. It's mostly
Valakut, Gavany Township,
flagstones.
more flagstones.
Yeah.
All that seems pretty good. Okay, no blocks.
Oh, wait. So you're taking 6?
Yep.
Alright. Non-creature spell. We'll play con.
Trigger.
Yep, I'll pay. Yeah, I'll pay it. This actually produces mana
I
now.
will fetch in response. Go to 11.
Okay.
I'm gonna snap Force Negation that card.
Okay.
Snap Force Negation. Alright.
And we will pass.
Okay. Draw. Doesn't really do much, so we will activate Stoneforge.
Yep.
Batter Skull into play. I will then... I guess I don't have to because it's a forest, so ha ha ha. I will equip to the Esper Sentinel.
Yep.
I will attack for 5.
Yeah.
5, 5. Good.
Untap.
And now, Lily has to pay 5 extra mana if she wants to resolve spells and not let me draw cards.
Well,
There's no way
a
she
spell.
has 5 mana.
A spell.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's only a non-creature, too.
Yeah. 2, 4, 5. Pact. Paying the 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right there. Sorry.
You're fine.
I hate these kinds of decks so much.
They mess with your
simply-
permanents a lot, yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna cast the Dryad.
Yep.
Alright. We will move to... Actually, did I need to pay the 5? No, because there's no way you can stop the Dryad, even with Force Blue card, because it's not real Force.
Well,
Yeah.
bummer that we didn't get paid off, but technically it would be in response to this, so had I found a force,
Oh, yeah.
I still could
Yeah,
have. It didn't
Yeah.
happen, but yeah.
Yeah, these new cards are messing with me.
They are.
I apologize,
You're fine.
everyone.
You're fine.
Alright. So, let's see here. We're gonna try Yorion.
Yep.
Yep. We're gonna go to combat.
Yep.
Attack trigger.
Yep. Play multiple Valakuts in that?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm
I
just
have
dead?
3.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, I wasn't sure because typically in a list like that, I guess since it's 80 cards, it probably changes it, but in most of the green-white lists, on like 1 or occasionally it'll be 2, but I guess the Vesuva makes sense anyway too, right? Like,
Yeah,
that kind of just has
like-
to be there.
It was either you're dead with this, or you're dead with Yorion picking up Titan and getting 2 more lands.
Well, I was going to be able to trade with that potentially in combat if I didn't die to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I was just about dead there. I think that was a good showing of like,
And-
I can answer the first 2 Titans, and realistically I could almost answer the 3rd Titan. I could not answer the 4th.
Yeah.
Well, technically I
Wow.
answered 3 Titans because I forced one of the calls.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah,
Would you like to do... Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, also after I got done with how much math there was and how many triggers were going to be on the stack, it more than likely
Quite some.
at least 2 of them were going to go into the Esper Sentinel, so
Sure.
it couldn't block,
Sure. Yep.
and the rest was just going to go at your face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So
Do you want to play more pre-board? Do you want to play... do you want to just swap
I'll leave
boards?
that up to you.
I think we got time.
Okay.
We can definitely do another pre-board with this, and then if we start to get a little low on time after this, maybe the other ones will be just best out of 3.
Yeah.
But I think these decks are pretty cool, so...
Yeah, the other... Like, the Asmore one is kind of neat, but the Affinity versus Merfolk is... Who can count to 20 fastest?
Yeah, that one might go pretty quick. Alright, well, we will try again. I'll be on the play this time.
Yes, sir.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll keep this.
Sure.
Alright. Seachrome Coast, Esper Sentinel. Go ahead.
Yep. Go ahead.
Cool. Not getting valid.
Asserting dominance.
Pay 2.
Asserting dominance by...
attack for 1.
Yep.
And then I will Stoneforge. And I think, actually... I think I'm going to go grab the new card here. I'm going to grab Caldra. Go ahead.
Draw?
Yep.
Oh, that's a shame. Fetch.
Yep. I think our goal here is just to try to kill Lily as fast as we possibly can, and Caldra having haste and potentially trading with Titans is pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. Like, Caldra is a excellent magic card. Like, it doesn't replace Spanish Skull. It fills that reality smash for wall.
Yeah.
Very nicely.
two drop that tutors for a smasher that then plays it for 2 uncounterably is pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's like, it's so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
We will pay the Topius Ball paying the tax. And we'll choose white.
I'm going to actually force that.
Oh.
Pitching an Archmage's Charm.
Okay.
We don't have too many targets for that, so I think we just want to kind of do that as quickly as we can. Oh, we just drew a reason to not do that, but whatever. I'll activate Stoneforge.
Yep.
Trigger, get a Germ, get in for 6.
Yep.
I will play this, tap, and say go.
Draw. Well, this hand is not nearly as good. This deck is not nearly as good about acceleration. And we'll say go.
Did you want to play an additional land off this too?
Oh, yeah.
Does let you play an additional land.
Gods. I'm bad at this game.
You're fine.
Yeah, we'll play additional delegates.
Okay. Already drew. I will Prismatic Ending this for 3.
Yeah. Exiles?
Yep. I will get in for 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Play land. Good.
Yeah, I'm just dead.
Whoop whoop. Aggro.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how I'm going to have to win these games, probably. Just off the back of like a quick Cauldra or a quick Batter Skull or something, so... Alright, moving on to sideboards, correct?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Well, we will see you in sideboard.
Yeah, so I'm just bringing a couple cards. Most of my sideboard is a dedicated wish board. So we have a variety of answers, and bringing in Pithing Needle actively decreases my chances of drawing it. So we're bringing in Engineered Explosives, a Sanctum Prelate, and a Foundation Breaker.
What does that do?
Destroy target artifact or enchantment when it ETBs, and it has Evoke.
Oh, cool.
So, like, won't kill, what's it called? Caldera, because indestructible, sadly. But it will clean up the other equipment, and hopefully we can just deal with Caldera with the E on 0. And hopefully Michael never gets to 7 mana.
Well, it does give the equipped creature indestructible, too. So, that
will work.
But it will deal with Batterskull Germs, it will deal with...
it will deal with every other drama.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be trimming on a couple things because...
Yeah, seems fine.
Yeah.
On my end, I'm just taking out some things that aren't great. As you saw there, Lily gets a lot of mana, so Esper Sentinel is really not going to be good. Like, if this was counter it, unless they paid 1, maybe you could consider it, because Lillian does have calls and things like that, but, like, realistically, if she gets to a turn where she summoners packs and then doesn't pay because she has exactly 6 mana, if I draw 1 card, Lillian's resolving a 6/6 that draws 2 cards and puts them on the battlefield. So, like, I'm not winning that exchange. Prismatic Ending, although it does have targets in hitting the 1 and 3 drops, we're really just upgrading all of that. So all of this tags 1 through 3 drops, and only 3 of these cards did, and they're just a lot better. Like, Vindicate's just It's not necessarily more efficient, but it does tag Titans, which matters.
It also tags lands.
Yeah, I was going to say, and in the weird situations, it can potentially tag lands. So if Lillian goes for, like, a Summoner's Pact, and it resolves, and then we get to, like, Subtlety a Titan, there may be a game where we get to Vindicate a bounce land and kind of get a free win. But also just the fact that it answers Titan on its own makes it definitely good enough for this matchup. Subtlety, I'm not positive on for this. Lily is trying to win through creatures 90% of the time, so I think that means it's good enough, but my hope is that I won't really ever have to evoke it, because I don't really want to 2-for-1 myself here. It's not like Lily's, like, getting on the board so fast that, you know, I need free spells to keep up. It's more that, like, it's kind of an Aether Gust on a body, and, like, if I get to hardcast it, and I get to Aether Gust and put a 3-2 into play, that's going to be really good for us, so, yeah, we'll see. No Veil of Summers in that list, Lillian?
No.
It's not even concerned.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
It's like,
it's just fine.
What?
Don't worry about it.
what, I have 12 Titans, you can't stop them all.
Yeah. And, I mean, and that first game was a good showcasing, right? You drew, what, 1, 2, 3,
Like,
4...
I hard drew 2 Titans, and I had a third pact in hand.
So you had up to 4... Up to 5 Titans, technically, right?
Yeah.
Because you had... No, you had 6, right? Didn't you have 3...
I only had 2.
2 packs,
Yeah.
1... Okay, so 5 technical Titans if you needed them, right? So,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
In fact, one of those packs I was gonna get Titania. not even a Titan though, because like
Yeah.
I don't need more than 1 Titan.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, will you be on the play, yes?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, good luck.
Same to you.
Thank you. 6, 7.
And it is okay, but I'm gonna have to ship it. 1 too few lands for me to be comfortable.
I think I'm going to keep... this is on the lower spectrum for sure. But we have 3 really good cards in our hand that I like having. And then kind of the rest of our hand is pretty medium at this point, but there's not too much we can do about that, to be honest. So, I think it's still fine enough. It's not the most absurd keep. I'm not going to, like, windmill slam it, but this deck doesn't really have draws like that too frequently. Like, I think the only hand where you're, like, slam keep is, like, 2 lands, Stoneforge, Force, and blue card. That's when you're like, okay, like,
Yeah.
almost assuredly this will be good, therefore I will keep these things. Other than that, there's a lot of, like, you know, maybe this is good, maybe this isn't good, depends on what kind of draw Lily has, things like that, so we shall see. How much do you love shuffling 80 card decks, Lily?
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, no. Reason why I don't play Commander.
Yeah, it's 20 cards more, even.
Wow. This was worse.
Alright, well, we'll take a question from chat. No? No questions in chat?
Michael, this is a YouTube video.
There's comments below.
I want to pull out one of the ones telling you how bad you are.
Okay, well, there have been some of those, and while they're not wrong, we don't need to go over it, okay?
Okay.
Just because it happened once, or twice, maybe 12 different times that I
Okay.
didn't play around a card that I knew my opponent had, doesn't make me a bad player. It just makes me a
No.
bad person.
No, I'm sure there's going to be a couple people immediately telling me how I don't drop Utopia Sprawl. Yeah.
And try to draw cards right away?
Yeah.
Something like that? Man, Utopia Sprawl's already like a $10 card. How much would it be if it drew a card, too?
I think it would be about the same, honestly.
I think it would be even better. I think it would be a 2021 design.
What the heck?
I mean,
I can't get...
you can...
I mean, actually...
You can
yeah,
flagstones yourself
actually-
on turn 2 to play the Dryad and get a... Or not
Yeah.
play the Dryad, play the Vizier. You put one of the flagstones back,
Yeah.
and then you get a green land with it.
Yeah, I put 2 cards back because I'm on 5.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, like,
That's not the
thinking about
worst.
it, it's not that bad.
It's not good, but it's
Yeah.
not the worst.
Pass.
Pluto Delta, go.
Yep. Draw. Yeah, white.
Yep. Yep.
Go get my Canopy Vista.
Yep. Yeah. Not the end of the world, but definitely not a great start.
Just like the one hand I see more than one land. It's just like 3 flagstones.
All of them? That is kind of funny. Go ahead. I might be in a game where we get to hard cast some expensive things and be cool.
Draw.
Ow.
Pass.
Cool. Go.
Elvish Reclaimer will land. That is neither.
Yep.
Pass.
Go.
2.
Yep.
Pass.
I'll fetch, take 1. Getting a little cavalier with our life total here, but we got some cool stuff we're going to get to do, so... This probably means... Without really being as upset as she is, probably means a call, but there's not too much we can do, so we're just going to cast a Subtlety in a turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a call for the Reclaimer.
Yep.
Draw over 2 turns, net me a mana.
Yeah. Congrats. Go ahead. Even though we didn't get to get the trigger on Subtlety, I just wanted to get it into play at this point. I'm gonna counter that draw card. Cryptic.
Yep. Pass.
Go.
This is no. Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in.
I was gonna take the super cool line of path my own thing so I could cast a Caldera next turn.
I was already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't getting a land until 4 deep.
Yikes.
So.
Well, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, let's run it again.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna play best of 5, right?
Okay.
So, might as well. But yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate series of mulligans. The cool part was, at least, even though Flagstones is legendary, even though it only produces white, it did help fix.
Yeah.
So like, had that card not worked that way, it would have been much worse for you, right?
Oh yeah, and like thinking about that was a fine 5. Like I would have kept it. Like that is just coming from my inexperience of Flagstones. Like Titan is my jam. Is just Flagstone is new.
Yeah, I mean there's always been the Titan Valakut decks, but they haven't always been green-white Flagstones decks too, right?
No.
That didn't happen until Dryad came out and enabled it.
Yep.
And even then, it still took a little while, I feel like, before people were super in on it. People tried it out right away, but it wasn't always green-white. There was a lot of, 4-color builds.
It was mostly Amulet Titan.
Yeah.
With, instead of really cool kills, it got replaced with Dryad.
Yeah.
And Valakut.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, well, hopefully we'll be able to make this a little bit better. We're going on to game number 4, up 2-1 on my side. Lily's going to hope to play Magic this time, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to change things for us.
Yeah, I'll keep this.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
A Canopy Vista and say go.
Go. Just going to fetch a land now, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
I think Lily knows I'm not going to be pathing anything on end step, so it's not really reasonable for me to be concerned with that.
Pass.
Sure. 15. And tap. Go.
Draw.
Yep.
Call.
Okay.
We'll find the Vizio.
Yep.
Maybe.
If you can find one. Yep.
I'll shock in a Temple Gun
Mm-hmm.
and play an Arbor Elk and pass.
Interesting. Okay. Go.
Just gonna shuffle
Actually,
this
wait.
a little
You
bit
you
more.
have how many cards in hand?
4 and 1 Vizier.
5, 6. Okay, yeah, I do have to do this since they go. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
If you didn't have Titan Mana next turn, there was one other thing I could have potentially done this turn, but I think I need to leave up mana here.
Vizier.
I'm gonna counterspell that.
Okay. Vizier.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, make
Yep.
lots of mana summon effect.
It only finds a green creature,
Yeah,
correct?
so.
Okay, that's fine then.
Find a Duskwatch.
Yep.
Rakuda.
We're dead.
And do the
Alright, well,
do
bummer,
the shenanigans.
bummer that the times that we've lost has been when Lily and her 80 card deck has had multiple...
I had 2 more Elder Armies call
Really?
in my hand.
Yeah.
And I... So it's just like, oh, excellent.
Alright, well,
How,
then I guess we should have taken that line. So I had a Dakan to exile your Vizier. It's just 3...
yeah, I feel like you should have taken that line with Godless.
the problem is if you have a land, you can then untap and Titan me.
Yeah.
And what I figured is more likely is that it's pretty unlikely that you have 2 Viziers.
Yeah.
That's pretty unlikely. Because you would have to call to find a second one if you didn't have it naturally. And so I figured what was happening is the reason you didn't play it the previous turn is because you wanted a Titan, and the Arbor Elf gave you Titan mana. And so I thought you were just going to slam a Titan that turn. So I read into what you were doing as representing something very different than what was happening.
No, like, I just wanted to play around the blue enchantment invocation.
Subtlety?
Yeah, subtlety.
Gotcha.
English is difficult.
Gotcha.
Subtlety.
Okay. Alright. Well, I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to hold up that, because otherwise you would have had, if you untap, play a land, you have 5 lands plus Arbor Elf,
Yeah.
and get to still get me with a Titan, and I didn't have any way to remove a Titan, but I had, like, 3 Archmage's Charms and, like, 2 counterspells or something like that. So, that was the hope.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, quick game. Moving on to a final one where I will be on the play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This isn't our best style of hand to keep, but it will suffice. It will work.
No, I'm gonna keep this.
Alright. Polluted Delta, go ahead.
Draw. We'll go Forced Elvish Reclaimer. And say go.
Yeah. I think I'll grab that one. So you got 19 all?
Yes, so.
Alright. Tap. Draw. Go.
Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Go Devoted Drip.
Sure.
And pass.
Play a Seachrome Coast, and I will Vindicate the Devoted Druid.
Why?
Good.
Draw. Fetch Shock. Yeah, Fetch Shock.
Yep.
Actually, no, I don't need to. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Dryad Alpha.
Dryad?
Dryad of the Elysium Grove.
Yep.
Yes. And we will play the Sanctuary, picking up the Canopy.
Cool.
And pass.
Do you want to attack for one?
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Last turn it made sense, because maybe if you wanted to play around like Snapcaster Mage, you didn't want to trade.
Mm-hmm.
This turn, I think it's only upside.
I miss so many little attacks for ones when I'm not playing an aggro deck. It's actually embarrassing.
Yeah, when it's like not the focal point of what's happening.
Let's see, consult.
For no reason. Right?
Yeah, just...
Keep in mind
like
you get
looking.
an additional land drop, too.
Yes. Just like how they look.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to... Khan, the Great Creator.
I will subtlety that. So,
Does
just
what
like an
now?
Aether Gust, you get to choose top or bottom.
Oh. We'll choose top.
Okay.
Play on elf and pass.
Tap. Draw. Okay, go to your upkeep. Actually, wait, this is flying. I'm going to attack for 3.
Okay.
Now go to your upkeep.
Upkeep.
Upkeep, I'm going to Path the Dryad.
That's a Dryad. Okay.
Would you like to search?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, Khan was going to get me Golos, so... It's getting a land either way out of the deal.
Alright, now you can continue.
Alright.
Reason I'm doing things in that way is going to upkeep doesn't give Lillian the land for turn, and doing it before draw step cuts out her draw to Karn, which, since she put on top, I'm going to assume is a good draw for her at this point. And now she'll be drawing a random, which I think Karn is better than a random sometimes. So that is
yeah.
Yep.
Tap.
And then draw. Yep. Obviously, that's dependent on what Lily has going on, though. That changes things.
Flamer?
Yep.
Combat?
Yep.
Pass.
Okay, so she's got another call. Because otherwise she would be attacking with the Arbor Elf at least. Unless she was really scared of another subtlety. I guess that could potentially be something, huh?
Yeah, I like my ramp.
You have 2 cards in hand, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Untap.
Yep.
Draw. Combat.
Yes, sir.
3.
Take it.
Okay. I will fetch shock.
Yep.
Super excited to play this card. Guess I didn't have to do that yet. Whatever. Play a Decon. Enters with 6 loyalty. Because I have 6 lands. And I will -3 targeting one of these.
Alright.
I'm going to target the one that does not have Summoning Sickness.
Alright, so in response,
Yep.
I'll Eldorado spell.
Okay.
And Titania.
Yeah.
And then we will sacrifice this to grab a flagstones.
Yep.
And if Michael isn't a jerk and doesn't counter this, we can see how Titania is really good.
Not going to tell you what I'm doing.
Alright, and this gets exiled, correct?
Yep.
All right.
And then go ahead. Yeah, this card seems really good, this Dakan. Like, -3 to just exile a creature, like, that's pretty solid out of a 3-mana walker. And here's a really great example of, like, it's really good that it only costs 3 for the same reason that it's super good that Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, untaps 2 lands. Like, in the late game, being able to hold things up is huge. So, yeah, I really like this card, and I think that a Stoneblade list might be the best potential list for it. And then you can continue.
Upkeep draw.
Yep.
Attempt to cast Titania. Why?
Archmage's turn. I'm going to counter that. No thanks.
I just want to do the thing. Combat.
Yep.
Death.
Yep. Dead.
We will untap this for us.
Sure.
And pass.
I'll attack for 3.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it taps to
Yep.
do that. Point out of the Valkyrie.
Sure.
We will attack for 3.
Sure. Down to
And
12.
we will pass.
Okay. Tap. Draw. Combat. 3. This tapped. Yeah. Go ahead.
Draw. We'll attack for 8.
I'll path the night.
Okay.
I was debating if there was any reason that I had to do that on my turn. Like, if there was some kind of land that I was super scared of. And I guess the best land would have been, like, a Valakut or a Gavany Township. But my thought was, currently I'm winning the race. So Lillian's kind of hard-pressed into attacking with that knight, which I think is correct. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I'm going to cast this Summon Aspect.
I'm going to force negation.
Okay. And I will just cast this Devoted Druid.
Okay. You mean Vizier of Remedies?
Yeah, Vizia.
Okay.
And pass.
I took 3, sorry.
Oh, yes.
From this one. Alright, I'll attack for 3.
Yep.
Go ahead. Got her on the ropes here.
Cut.
You're good. I don't know what I'm scared of, but there's probably a whole lot of things.
Draw. Lethal? Oh, no. 6.
Yeah.
One, two, three. Does this wall?
Snap. Archmage's Charm?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you let me do Titania?
I'm rude. I'll just go out there and say
Like,
it.
I was only gonna hit like 3-5.
I actually
5Gs.
debated for a second, I'll be honest. Because I had Archmage's Charms and Paths, I actually debated letting you get it, and when you made a 5-3, pathing it in response to you making the first one, and then stealing that 5-3 to try to kill you with it faster.
Oh.
So that was my other line, but I got a little scared because if I had done that, I had to use
just make more 5-3s with Titania.
that too. I was more so scared of, like, it could have been really, really bad if you top-decked something that I had to path, and I used up my path for that purpose. Like, that could have been really awful. So, alright, well, super close games. Made it to a game 5, and it really did come down to the last card in each of our hand, really. So,
yeah.
Really close. What are your thoughts on that deck so far, Lily?
I love it. Like, I don't like that it's 80 cards because of how combo and summon, and it could be because these sleeves are kind of old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's a fair criticism. my thought, I mean, I also love this. This is kind of the style of deck that I enjoy. Haven't always loved just playing Stoneforge in general, but, like, you know, the tempo-y controlling style shells I always tend to enjoy. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. All right, we're moving on. What is our next matchup, Lily?
It should be Affinity versus Merfolk.
Yeah, Affinity versus Merfolk. So, yeah, we will see you there for match number 2, where Lillian's gonna take revenge with her artifact rat.
Yeah. Hopefully the robots do to Michael what it did to Standard.
Ban it?
No. Ruin it.
All right. Yeah, see you in match number 2.
So we're gonna go match number 2, and we'll be playing some Affinity with the new cards, most notably Urza's Saga and all of its absurdity, along with Thought Monitor, which I am really excited across all formats for.
Yeah, that card's super cool. Just like Thought Cast on a body.
Yeah.
It's sweet. And Urza's Saga is kind of like a Mox Opal, but in some ways better.
I wouldn't say that far. Like, I think it fills different roles.
Sure, I guess I'm just saying its levels is
Yeah,
of,
like
of
absurdity.
bustedness and very good cards. Yeah,
It is a absurd card.
and I am playing Merfolk, and have a decent amount of new cards in here. The 1-drop that turns things into islands for kicker. The God that is a Merfolk and has Ward 1 and is pretty absurd. Is there anything else? Oh, there's counter spells in the sideboard, so that technically counts. And I think outside of that, it's mostly pretty stock Merfolk style things. Yeah, but I mean, got some new toys. Decks always felt kind of close. We're gonna see if these upgrades are gonna be good enough.
Yeah.
All right. I believe you called last time, right?
Yes, sir.
So I will say even this time and see if I get paid off. Yeah, I think we rolled a 6 last time too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, just different numbers. So the dice aren't loaded, people.
Yeah. All right. I'll be on the play in case that was not evident. 4, 5, 6, 7. Definitely not like our greatest hand in the world, but I think it's a keep.
I agree. Like, I'll keep this as well.
All right. I'm gonna play Cavern Naming Merfolk and pass.
Alright, I'll draw. And my turn is slightly more exciting. Ink Moth, one off the bubble.
Yep.
And we'll pass.
Tap. Draw. I'll play a Fiery Islet. I'll play a Silver Gilladept, taking 1 and revealing... What do I want to reveal to you? I think I'll reveal the God.
Okay.
Draw a card. Go ahead.
Draw for 10?
Yep.
This plating Thopter.
Hold on.
Oh, my
I'm
apologies.
going to force that plating.
Oh, the forces are in the main.
Yes.
Okay. Thopter.
Yeah, can't let that happen.
And pass.
That is a race that I cannot win against an Igmoth Nexus.
I mean,
That's
you
for
could
certain.
try.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so how do we want to sequence here? We have choices. Definitely have choices. I guess... We can start by going to combat and attacking for 2.
Yep.
Alright, did it. You have how many cards in hand?
3.
3 still, huh? Okay, well, I don't think we get to double spell this turn, so because of that, I think I just want to get this down and be the most mana efficient we possibly can be. And then I'll pass.
Draw?
Yep.
Do you have another force?
I do not. Nope.
Pass.
That is a problem. Hopefully we're going to be alright here. Alright, we are in fact going to be alright. We found another land, so we get to kind of mess Lily up here, at least in the sense that we're not going to get Ink Mothed out of this game, so that's good. So you don't even have enough to be able to really do much with that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what that gives right now. It's pretty good. I will go to combat.
Yep.
I'll attack, trigger to draw a card. 5?
Yep.
Okay. Second main, I will Spreading Seas, one of these.
Right.
Draw a card. And then I will pay a life, and I will Tide Shaper one of them. The other one.
Alright, so they're both islands.
They're both islands.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna slide this off to the side.
Sure, yep. You got 2 islands there.
Yep.
So we at least are not getting ink mothed out, which is good.
Draw. No, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it. Not enough for this thought monitor.
Oh! We almost gave Lily the blue mana she needed. Well,
yeah.
We did give Lily the blue mana she needed. That's scary.
Yeah. Let's see. I think equipping this to Thopter and getting in for 5.
5? Yep.
Yep.
Ouch.
And pass.
Alright, untap.
Gonna run this waste.
Draw, and I think we've probably killed you now. If we just do this, right? I think that's Xaxes.
Oh no.
Right? Let me recount. Yeah, that's exactly. Alright, I'll name Merfolk and play 2 Lords. And then I'll attack you for 13 unblockable.
Oh yeah,
trigger
Island Walk. Yeah.
Whew. Well, that was definitely a race, and I won it in a way I was not expecting, which was to shut down an Inkmoth Nexus. So that was interesting.
Oh, Frogger.
Yeah,
that's gonna come.
That would have been free. Then Thought Monitor would have been 1 mana.
Yeah. Yeah, Frogger was gonna come to play.
Alright, that one went really quick. Do you want to do another?
Yeah, let's just... I'm fairly sure we can do all best of 5s in here.
Yeah.
So
nothing feels super long. I mean, I'm playing
Yeah.
Infect and you're playing Food-Gaak next. So,
Yeah.
like, that first match really was potentially the longest one to play out. So,
Alright.
get a good shuffle in here. We got any other questions from chat, Lily?
No. No,
No?
that's looking a little empty.
Y'all gotta hop in our Twitch chat.
We don't have a Twitch at the moment.
Stop, okay? Stop. Just let them pretend.
We will set one up, though.
Yeah.
We can watch Michael live, mess up drafts.
Oh, I can't handle that. That's too much pain for me.
I don't? Okay.
It's too much pain. Alright. You're on the play?
Yes, sir.
Alright. 5, 6, 7.
This is almost fantastic. I need 1 lands.
Yeah.
I miss playing Affinity.
Yeah, would you like to talk a little about that deck? Because when we say Affinity, there's probably 2 generations of people here, and there's probably one person who sees that as old school, which, you know, super Affinity back in like Standard, and then there's the people who probably are thinking of like modern Affinity a little while ago, and they're very different. So
yeah, so I can't talk about like the original Affinity deck that almost killed Magic. But Affinity is a mechanic like things cost 1 less for each card that shows whatever type it has Affinity for. So like Affinity for artifacts, and that's the good Affinity.
Affinity for Islands is pretty cool too.
No, it's not. We're gonna keep this, and we're gonna bin. This.
Okay.
And pretty much all of our things cost really low, and it makes our really big things, really expensive things rather, cost nothing because...
Affinity.
Yeah, Affinity.
Yep.
1, 2, this one, this, go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Tide Shaper. Go.
Unkick Tide Shaper, that's spooky. This is on 2, Spire of Industry. We're gonna get in 1.
Yep.
And pass.
Alright. So, Lily. Earlier, we were talking about Blood Moon effects with Urza's Saga.
Yeah. No. Counter it.
Okay.
1.
Genuine question, however. Would
Yes.
that do the thing?
Yeah, so
Cool.
because layers and it works in a bad way, if you were to Spreading Seas or Urza Saga or do anything to make this not a enchantment land that is named Saga, it loses all wall counters and it kills itself.
Yep. Gets dunked on. Alright, go ahead.
Untap.
Draw, and then
draw.
Yep.
That.
Find a 0 or a 1 drop. Pretty good. Could honestly just be another Signal Pest I could see at this point, but I don't know exactly the list. There might be some better stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to know. Depends on, like, if Lily wants to just try to clock us and get this thing over with, or kind of where she's at with that. Yeah, it's definitely a bummer she had the, I was going to say Mystical Dispute, but Metallic Rebuke. That was a rough one.
It's going to be a Signal Pest.
That seems pretty good.
One
me.
One.
Oops, this side, yep.
And pass.
Okie doke. Okay. I'll play a land. Question is, what do we want to just start jamming here? It's unlikely she has another counterspell, but if she does, we might be in a rough spot. Alright. A Jailer Master. Alright. Attack for 1.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Upkeep, draw. Springleaf Drum. Mimite.
Yep.
Attack for 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And we will pass.
Alright, well, guess I'll start with Spreading Seas here. Draw a card. Play a land. Play a Lord. Get in for 2.
Yep.
Take 1. Go ahead.
End of turn, I'll bottle
Sure.
you. Okay, that's nice.
Cool.
Upkeep, draw.
Yep.
Turn. 2, 3, 4. Only 5. Actually, no, that's perfect because Springleaf Drum.
That was pretty good. Yep.
Yep.
Draw 2 cards.
And we'll attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I think I have to take that. Alright.
And we will pass.
Tap. Draw. It's so close to being good, but it's not quite there, huh? So, I guess I will play a Marrow Reedry. And then, let's see, where are we at? Am I alive next turn?
So,
I'm taking... Oh, no, the other Ornithopter does it, actually.
yeah, like this is... You cannot block these.
Yeah.
Because flying and weird pseudo-flying that...
Yep. Alright, yeah, that'll do it. Yep, I had a double force in hand. So it wasn't quite the aggressive start I was looking for, and that came back to get us there, but... Oh, well. Lily having both the counterspells into untapped Thoughtcast, or Thought Monitor, I guess, sorry.
Yeah.
Was pretty dang good.
Sick.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was pretty sweet. That's for sure.
Like,
Alright, well, we will see you in sideboarded games. Alright, so here we are with sideboards. Had some conversations about what we think might be good or not so good, and I think on my side, I'm just looking for ways to interact with cranioplating creatures and creatures in general. So, although Force Negation is good against cranioplating itself because it can tag it, all of these cards are good against cranioplating creatures, with the exception of the card Lily's sleeving up, but I'll let her talk about that in one moment. And then Curse Catcher is just really bad, like countering target instant or sorcery unless they pay 1. As you can see, Lily's taking out most of her counter spells, but even without that, there were only 4 instants and sorceries in the whole deck pre-board. In sideboard now, there's only 3, and although they're important, they only cost 1 mana. It's just not good. And then Harbinger, Merfolk, Trickster, and Brazen Borrower all just are solid tempo plays against opposing creature decks, where tapping something down for a turn or bouncing it might mean the difference between dying or killing Lily on the swing back. So, yeah, that's what's going on here.
alright. And taking out a couple Steel Overseers because as much as I love this card, and as much of a powerhouse it can be, it's just okay, and we have to go as fast as possible. Taking a ton off to play this might not be as efficient, especially in the later games when we can play like an Etched Champion, which is protection from anything with a color.
Notably, protection from everything except for Mutable.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
not Mutable is colorless.
Yeah, so that has come up in the past.
Yeah.
who
And
knows?
Dispatch, because it's a 1 mana upgraded Swords to Plowshares.
Or even if it taps something in this matchup,
Yeah.
might be good. You know, like
Yeah, just tapping it might just buy enough time to it. Like the 1 Signal Pest plus Ornithopter gets there.
yeah. All right, well, I will be on the play for these. Maybe there's some consideration to it. Another thing I thought about was potentially trimming on one of the God, because you don't really have many ways that are dealing with things, and so the Ward and Indestructible and Legendary thing could potentially make it awkward to draw too many of them. I think I'm
Yeah.
on 3. But I really just want to draw it. It's a really solid card. Having Indestructible and drawing cards as it attacks is like super good. So I don't know. Maybe if we get to a spot where I feel that way and I'm getting clogged up, maybe in one of these post-board games I'll shift that for a Force of Negation or something. But we shall see. All right. On the play here. 5, 6, 7. This isn't super aggressive, but it's a little disruptive. I think this is fine. It's the kind of hand that might get beat by her, like, nut draws, but...
This hand is a little medium, but, like, let's see if I really like this, so I'm gonna keep it. Plus I have the mana to cast it.
Cool. Mutable.
Oh,
Go ahead.
well, that's the thing. Midnight. This one, Bobble.
Yep.
Pass.
Okay. Silvergill Adept. I'll reveal the God.
Okay.
Go.
Draw. Glimmer Void. Plating. 1.
Ouch.
Pass.
That's not really what we were looking for. Alright. Attack for 2.
Yep.
Actually, wait. Hold on. Sorry, I lied. I forgot I didn't have double blue, so I'm going to play this one first.
Okay.
Attack for 3. Good.
Untap.
My apologies.
Upkeep. Draw. Alright, so now we have a couple of options. Now, all pretty nasty. I think we go Uzza Saga to start things off.
Yep.
So we can get that clock ticking down. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, I think just animating this and setting it up
Sure.
again for 4 infect.
Sorry. We will do... Bam. We got 4 infect.
Don't we have this nifty?
Oh, that's right. We do. I'm sorry. 2, 3, 4. Bam.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that visible?
Kinda.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see that there is a number there.
And
Cool.
we will fast turn.
Okay. Tap. Draw. Alright. Well, I also have some nifty options here now about what exactly we want to do. So I think I will start messing with Lily's mana pretty severely. So I'm going to kick a Tide Shaper, trigger Reejery to untap my island,
Okay.
and I'm going to blow up your Urza's Saga with that thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I don't think it should walk that way, but
I am then going to Spreading Seas your Inkmoth
oh, this is a shame.
and draw a card.
Help! I am being oppressed.
I will then go to combat and attack for 5.
Yep.
Good.
All right. We'll untap, upkeep, and draw. Well, play this Uzza Saga.
Yep.
I'll just leave this off to the
Sure.
side. 1, 2, 3, 6. Only 6.
That ain't enough, huh?
No, not enough for my thought monitor. But we do have enough to play a second plating.
Yep.
And we will see go.
Man. Really, we're looking for blue mana here. Let's see if we can find it again.
No.
I'm gonna Stone Rain you. I'm gonna draw a card.
Stop.
Found blue mana.
Michael.
I'm gonna go to combat.
Yeah.
3, 6.
8?
Yeah, I'm only thinking because there's a reason that Lily didn't equip that cranial plating. What could that be? Probably the dispatch. If you dispatch, you can then trade with Silvergill Adept. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna dispatch.
Yep.
Exiles. I don't think it matters, but
Yep, you're right.
just in case.
You're right.
Alright.
So 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Draw. Play that. Play a string leaf drum.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for thought monitor.
Yep.
Draw 2. Play this welding jaw.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Give that a thing and attack you for.
Petty Theft, the cranial plating.
Okay. Attack you for 1.
Yep.
Right,
Tap.
and we'll pass.
Draw. Okay, can we kill Lily here?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
I think so. So if we go play a master. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop. Did it. Oh wow.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a lot of platings.
yeah. I was
Alright.
going to be able to just double plating of this thought monitor.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
That Spreading Seas back. Alright, well, that interaction is super wonky and really weird, but it's come up way more times than I would have anticipated. And, yeah.
And so,
So we're up a game again.
I really hope Wizards changes how that interaction works. To more like the interaction between Dark Depths and Blood Moon. Right, if you are unaware of that, you play Dark Depths, opponent Blood Moons, it still has 10 ice counters on it, but
There's just nothing to do with it.
it just does nothing. However, if opponent has Blood Moon and you play Dark Depths, it enters the battlefield with 0 ice counters.
So then if the Blood Moon leaves...
Yeah, you get a Matilage.
Cool. I mean, I think, like, it does kind of make sense, though, right? Because otherwise, like, what's going to end up happening, if they do change that rule, at the beginning of your draw step, you're not going to add a counter. It's just going to stick with the amount of counters.
Yeah.
And then if you remove the Blood Moon, then it continues on whatever path it was already on previously. That's probably fine, but...
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
it's just a feel bad because 2 mana Stone Rains are powerful. And it could just be we're playing it against this particular deck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
and
that's
Blood
true.
Moon is hosing it anyways, so.
Yeah, Blood Moon's going to make a big difference regardless of what's happening, kind of thing. 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna keep this hand.
This hand isn't great, but I really like this card. So,
This,
because we're up a game, I'm going to give this one a shot.
Alright, now this is pod racing. Go.
Cool. I'm going to play a Mutavault and an Aether Vial.
Okay.
Go ahead.
2, draw, Dark Steel,
Yep.
pass.
1 counter. Draw.
Alright, this hand is significantly not as exciting as I wanted it to be.
So, is there any reason that we want to mess with Lily this turn, or do we want to develop ourselves this turn? That's the real question. I think I'd rather just play my own other vial and pass.
Alright, Innocent, I'll bobble you.
Sure.
Okay, that's nice. I keep the untap upkeep draw bubble.
Draw for turn.
Draw for turn.
Yep.
Now this thing.
Yep.
Because this works really strangely.
Mm-hmm. That's how sagas are.
It's gonna be a signal pest.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to continue your turn and then shuffle?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be drawing again. I'm gonna play a Glimmer Void, a Paradise Mantle. I'm gonna give the Doctor Paradise Mantle, and we're going to pass.
Cool. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna go 2 and 1.
Yep.
Draw.
Shortcutting it.
Yeah. For those, technically this one goes to 2 and this one goes to 1, but whatever. Same thing. Now what do I want to do? I guess I will activate the vial on 2. Silvergill Adept, draw a card.
Yep.
It's so not what we were looking for, but whatever. I'll play an island. I will cast the third Aether Vial.
Oh, wow.
Which is dramatically worse than the previous 2, and I will pass to you.
Oh, wow. And it's I'll bubble you again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That upkeep. Draw off of bobble. Draw off a ton. Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
Welding Jaw. Combat.
Hold on. Before combat, I'm going to petty theft your signal pest. Yeah,
Why
save
must
that
you do this
damage.
to me?
Alright.
We play the signal
Yeah.
pest and pass.
Alright, untap, upkeep. I'm going to go 2, keep it the same, and 1. Drop. Okay, well, Lily knows about that card, so that's not really a surprise to her. I'll play this named Merfolk. I will kick a Tide Shaper, I guess, and I will turn your Glimmer Void into an island.
Alright.
Gotcha.
It has upgraded.
I will activate Mutavolt.
Yeah.
I will go to combat for 4 here.
Yep.
These 2.
I will dispatch the Mutavolt.
Sure. Still 4 damage. I will activate.
Yep.
Put in a Lord. Take 3.
Yep.
And pass to you. These zones are all weird. This is in the funny exile zone currently.
Oh yes, the exile that's not actually gone.
Adventure zone.
This.
Yep.
And we'll get in for 2.
2. Ouch.
And we will pass. Actually, play this and then pass.
Tap. I think I'll go 2, 2, and 3. Yeah. Seems good. I will go to combat. Attack for 3, 6, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I have
8.
Island Walk, and you have an island.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then I will name Merfolk and pass to you.
Island Walk, yes.
Yep.
Very, very good. Draw. And that is just. Do you have any other Merfolk? Yes.
I have the best Merfolk.
And that is just game.
Yeah.
So, I kind of listen what I was saying, but like, Affinity has always been like, kill your opponent or just put it out and do nothing of consequence. And that we did.
That one was more of the second one for sure. Yeah,
So
you went burr, but then stopped after the third R instead of going burr the whole time. Like,
so
that's a good way to put
actually
it.
being committed.
Yeah. Thoughts on that, though? That thought creature that I can't...
Thought Monitor?
Yeah, Thought Monitor. That card's sick.
I like it. Like, I still really like this deck. It feels good. It does need some more tweaking. And Affinity will never be as good as it was without Opal.
Yep.
But...
R.I.P. Mox Opal.
Oh, come back to me.
No.
Come back to me after I buy my 4th borderless one.
Sure, whatever. Alright, yeah, well, that's going to be it for match number 2. We are moving on to match number 3, and we will see you there. So, here we are with match number 3. We've got green-black Infect, getting some power from the new Jund Noble Hierarch. That's about the only new card I have. But yeah, getting some power from the new Jund Noble Hierarch, so I kind of just wanted to give it a try. And Lily's got something a lot more interesting than mine.
I am playing a... as more...
Yeah.
mid-rangey Food-Gaak that synergizes around the use of Underworld Cookbook, the discard profitable cards like Golgari Thug, Oval Chase Daredevil, Troll, and Cat to generate food, whereas more to either kill Michael's things or like revive cats and trolls.
Yeah, it's kind of like an interesting Jund sack, but with like a modern power level, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I got the last one, so it's your call. What do you want?
I will go odd.
Ooh, mixing it up.
Yeah.
Oh, and hit.
Got that.
We've called all 3 of the die rolls. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming you're going to be on the play.
Yes, sir.
Seems pretty good. 4,
Unfortunately, I'm going to mold this.
5, 6. Oh, boy.
Zero lands is usually kind of bad.
Okay. I'm going to keep this. This is definitely a bit of a risk here, but we've got the potential for the kind of hand that I think can win in this matchup. So we're gonna hope that we get a little bit fortunate, and yeah, it's gonna be how we do things here. What have you? How have you felt about that deck so far in your limited amount of playing with it?
It feels really good. It feels like it relies on synergies a bit too much for Magic, which is kind of odd saying, but you really need to puzzle out what you're doing. You can't just throw cards like Jund into deck and say, like, yeah, these are all good enough.
Whoa. Don't insult any Jund boys, okay? We're going to have a bunch of really, really angry people that have been playing Magic since 2012 who are very upset that we don't think Huntmaster is good enough in Modern, okay?
No. I'm sorry, but Jund is no longer a good deck. Saffron Olive took it to, like, a rogue deck building.
I don't know, the Jund Luris decks might be good enough. But, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to keep this.
Okay.
Because this seems great. We
Cool.
will pitch this to the bottom.
Yep.
And I believe we're just going to go lead off with Urza Saga into Witch's Oven.
Okay.
And pass.
Alright. I will fetch Shock. Right. I will fetch Shock and Thoughtseize you.
Thoughtseize me,
I
why?
think that's what I need to do.
How could you do this?
See, this is the bummer. This is kind of what I was hoping for. I really wanted to just take... I wanted to Inquisition first so I could just take the Asmore. But I guess what I can do here is I can Thoughtseize the cat. You don't have a way to recur the cat, and then I can Inquisition the Asmore, right?
Yeah.
So,
Like, as long as I don't draw exactly like Cookbook or Street Wraith,
yeah.
I think we're fine.
Yeah, so we're going to hope that Lily doesn't top deck one of those on us. And I'm at 15, and I'll go ahead and pass.
Untap. Keep draw. Blooming Marsh into Stitcher Supplier.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and sack the supplier and make a food.
Yep.
And mill 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll sack the food for the Colton Familia.
Yep.
And we will pass.
Okay, so we didn't hit our second land like I wanted, but we do need to Inquisition away that Asmore before things get worse for us. Since there's a cookbook coming down next turn, go ahead.
Alright. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn.
Yep.
This takes a D, sacks it to find ourselves the good book.
Mm-hmm.
Grabbing Overchase Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. So many small synergies. It's
Yeah, this deck
It's
presents...
lovely.
This deck just presents loops, like, every game. Like, it always has a loop of food equals this thing, equals food, equals this thing, equals food, over and over. So kinda cool.
We drew for turn.
Yep.
We will go ahead and... Question, because I've never played with this card before.
Yep.
Cauldron Familiar.
Yep.
Can I sack it in your turn? Can I sack a food in your
yes.
turn?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Then we will pass.
Okay. All right. Now I think we're probably dead. Casting
Actually,
this card doesn't.
My apologies. I hit you for one.
Oh yeah. Sure. Of course. Casting this card just really doesn't do anything, which kind of stinks. But casting this card doesn't really do much either. So I know that you have
an Oval Chase, and a Troll.
Troll, huh? Oh boy. Glistener Elf.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In a ton. I'll
discard Oval Chase.
Oval Chase.
Get a food.
Get a food. Add back the Oval Chase. I'll sack for another food.
Yep.
And I'll sack the 2 foods to bring back 2 cats.
Mm-hmm.
Gaining 2 and draining you for 2.
Yep.
I'll keep draw. We'll pay 2 life.
Yep. Ah, smokes. Should you do an Asmore too?
No.
Okay. It's like
only I could be so lucky. I
was
did
like,
draw my land for 10.
That's bad.
We'll go to combat.
Yep.
Hit you for 2.
Down to 9.
And pass.
Okay, I think we're too late at this point, probably. I'll play that Plague Stinger we've been holding on to for quite some time and pass the turn.
In a turn, I'm gonna and just make 2 foods.
Sure.
Untap. Upkeep, draw. I'll pitch the Feasting, sack 3 foods.
Yep.
Get him. We'll play a Cauldron Familiar.
Ooh, okay.
We'll attack for 1.
Yeah, I'll just block.
Okay. And we'll pass.
Huh. Alright. Does that do anything? I think we're gonna die here. Yeah. Yep, we just needed to hit our land sooner. I was just sitting on a bunch of Plague Stingers. My hand was Thoughtseize, Inquisition, land, and then a bunch of Plague Stingers that I kept. And so my thought was, if I find a second land, one of the best ways to win in a matchup like this, I think, is to try to take to the air. So that was the hope. Didn't get there, and that's how it be. So
it don't always be like that, but sometimes it do.
But sometimes it do. That's a good way to put it. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna be on the play for game 2, and see if we can potentially have a second land. Would be awesome. Having a Hierarch on 1 could potentially be very good, although maybe there's some merit to always discarding on 1, just so that Lily can't go turn 1 play Cookbook pass, because I'm actually a lot more scared of the Cookbook than I am of the Oven.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Oven is only really good with Cat, and then it's like, it's fine with other stuff.
Yeah, like, the next best thing it's good with is Stitcher's Supplier, like just running it out without anything, or Thug if I have things in my graveyard.
Yeah.
And want to recycle.
But those are a little more situational. The Cookbook's just good because it enables just about everything.
Yeah. Like, even if I don't have it as more, like, just pitch a Troll King to it, like, eventually I'll get it out, or pitch a Oval Chase because it's actually free.
Yeah, just free food.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like free food, right?
Republicans.
Look, you said it, okay? Not me. You said it.
Yeah?
Alright, yeah, I'll keep this hand.
Same.
Alright, I'm gonna Inquisition you on 1. You have 2 books?
Yes.
Dang it, Lily.
Good book comes in multiples.
Alright, I think... I'm actually just going to take the oven then.
Okay.
So... Or actually, no, I do have to take the book.
Alright,
Yeah.
because I've got this.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
powerful.
Alright, go ahead.
Draw. Yeah, we'll play the saga and play the book.
Yep.
And pass.
Play Ink Moth. And I'll play Extinger.
Alright.
Go.
End of time to make a food.
Yep.
Draw. Oven.
Yep.
Shock.
Uh-oh.
Stitcher supply.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Trigger.
Yep, yep, yep.
And pass.
Okay. Draw. Alright. I'll play this. I will fetch. I think I only need to take one here. Just don't want to get into a spot where if Lily top decks a cat, we're going to get into some kind of super race with our life totals. And, yeah, I got this Nurturing Peatland that's probably going to tap quite a few times, so just being a little bit extra cautious to do with that. And I will Thought Seize you. Okay, yeah, take the thing.
Yeah.
So now Lily, at the very least, has to pitch a card to get it back the first time.
Ain't no time.
Hold on. We're not done with the turn.
My bad.
We're not done with the turn. Get out of here.
Alright.
And then I think we just want to pay 1 to get in for 2.
Alright.
Go.
End of turn.
Sure.
Sack the supplier. Trigger making a food.
Yep.
And then supplier will mill first. And look at that. So make a food, get back to
Good
Daredevil. Pitch to Daredevil. Make a food, get back to Daredevil.
Yep.
Yep, it's all... did you take 2 life from Thoughtseize?
Sorry. 14.
Alright.
Yeah,
I'll
see,
sacrifice 2 foods.
This is exactly what we were talking about, is that I did not
Yeah.
want Lily to get into this race, and she did find it, so...
Because I'm going to draw my card.
Yep.
This is going to take up the D.
Yep.
Now I'll find another cookbook.
Yep. Now we're going to have to adjust how this works a little bit for us. It's going to be an interesting battle here. We definitely have solid draws that are going to put us in a good spot, but we have to hope Lily doesn't draw just about perfect here.
Like, not Asmore.
Yeah, not Asmore
So-
and not Feasting Troll King. I think those are the 2 things we're the
I
most
have
scared
a
of.
Feasting Troll King in my yard.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're probably dead, because she did mill just about perfect.
Yeah, and we're going to get in for 2.
Yep.
And we're going to pass.
So I've got 1 turn, I think. Does that do it, actually? No. Shoot. 7, 8, 9, 11. So you can sack these cats. 1, 2, 3. You can do 4 cat thingies. End of turn, you can do it once. You can untap. Ugh, yeah, I think we're going to be 1 shy. 1 life point shy. Because we could block those. But then we have to tap this once and drop to 9, and then we're dead. If I had... Maybe if I had played this out differently. Because if I had done this and this last turn, would that have made any difference? Because then it'd be the same here, but to... Yeah. Shoot. Okay, so I think I actually just hucked this one. I think I should have played to my outs. I could have killed you if I had played differently, which would have been if I had Inquisitioned you last turn, just to get an extra card in the yard, and then Snakeskin Veiled and attacked with this,
Okay.
instead of attacking with this one. It still would have been 2 damage, And so you'd have 2 Infect, but this would have a counter on it, and then this turn I could become Immense to give it +6, which would be 8, and I would kill you.
Yeah.
But as it sits right now, actually, funnily, because of the Nurturing Peatland, I can block, and I can end up going to 1 after these, but then I can't cast my Become Immense. So I cannot kill you. Alright, well, pretty close there. That's for sure.
Yeah, so also important, remember when playing with Yavimaya and Unborg, if you're in a situation where you need to pinch your opponent's life points as much as possible and they have a peat land or other canopy land, don't play this.
Or Fetch Land, even.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or a Fetch Land, don't play this because it just gives them a way to tap it without losing life. The same goes for like Mana Confluence. And
doesn't work for City of Brass,
nope,
though.
because when City of Brass is tapped.
Alright, well, we will see you in the post-board games. Okay, so here we are with boarding, and my side's not super crazy. I am actually cutting all 4 Glistener Elves with Cat and Oval Chase and, gosh, I don't even, so many things that are on the ground and are super recurable. Like, Glistener Elves just don't do anything. They're just going to sit there. They're going to jam into Cats that are then going to trade with end of turn getting things back. It's just not going to really matter or do anything. So they're just not very great. They're not really going to get damage through, so I'm actually just going to cut them all. We do have quite a few Infect threats, so I'm not worried about not having enough. And in fact, we're bringing in another cool one. I'm going to cut the Rancors because Lily doesn't play much removal. Like, sure, she has Asmore and is bringing in some number for sure, but it's not like a Jund deck where it's just all removal. And then I'm going to cut one of the Thoughtseizes because I don't really want to be top-decking them in too far into the middle of the game. I'm bringing in Abrupt Decays to answer all of the artifacts that are problematic, and Plague Engineers to potentially stop the Cats from being a problem, to potentially keep Golgari Thugs out of our way, and to potentially mess with some of the other shenanigans Lily's got going on. So, yeah, that's what I've got.
Alright. And I'm just bringing 3 Fatal Push to hopefully kill his Infect creatures outside of combat with. And Pithing Needle to turn off Inkmoth Nexus, because that can become a problem. And I'm just cutting a couple random cards, pretty much. I don't want to take away too much from my food synergies by cutting Cats, Ovens, Books, or Asmores. And I don't, because that's mostly how we win this game and grind out value. So, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, seems reasonable. Alright, well, I'll be on the play. I'll be looking for hands that involve discard on turn 1, and hopefully Lily does not have double Cookbook again. And then really just looking for threats after that. I mean, all of our threats really that are left are pretty good. The protection from red, Knight, isn't the best because it can potentially be locked on the ground, but the fact that we, whatchamacallit, that we get to dodge the Asmore removal, which is really her primary way to kill things, is pretty important. So maybe that does mean I should be leaving these Rancors in, actually. So I can just strap a Rancor onto the Knight. Yeah, I lied. I hadn't considered the trample in this. That is obviously relevant.
Yeah. Like, most of the things I can block it with is small. Anyways. Yeah. Or will get smaller because of the... no, Knight doesn't have Double Strike, does it?
That's First Strike.
First, okay.
So I'm going to actually cut the other 2 Thoughtseizes like we were talking about before, and keep those in.
Yeah, it's only Crusader has Double Strike.
Well, this one is a Crusader, but it's a Phyrexian Crusader. Instead of a Mirran Crusader.
Like,
this one got corrupted.
I'm glad they did not give the Infect one Double Strike.
Yeah, they were smart on that side.
Like, oh yes.
They were definitely thinking.
You already have half your life. And now here's a quarter of it.
6, 7, 6. This isn't our ideal start, but it is pretty good, so I'm going to keep.
I'll keep as well.
Alright, I'm going to play a Nurturing Peatland and pass.
Alright, draw. I'll go Fetch Shock.
Yep.
Into a Goose.
Yep.
And pass.
I'll play a land, I'll take 1 to play a Plague Stinger, and I'll pass. Got yourself some food.
Draw. I got more than just food. This one, we will play the cookbook.
Yep.
We'll tap the cookbook to
Yep.
discard this thug, make a food, and we will play the chef.
Alright, so she has the actual nuts.
Yeah.
She has best possible. That is a problem.
You
go find another cookbook.
Oh, yes, thank
Yep.
you. And we'll go ahead and kill that thing
Yep.
right now.
Go ahead. Our mana being very rough here. We have the potential to do some really cool stuff.
Not like this, Michael.
Yep. Like this. I mean, you had the nuts. Like,
yeah, but like, I wanted you to, you know, have cards. I wanted you to actually play the game.
I have very good cards here.
I'm in Lance.
Sure.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
I think the only thing that makes Lily's hand better in this matchup is if she also has a Fatal Push.
I do not.
Well, it would be cool if you did.
We'll play the cookbook.
Yep.
We'll play the supplier.
Yep.
3
Okay.
on the Troll King and the cat. And we'll go 1-2, pitching another cat and a cradle with 2 food and hit you for 3.
Ouch.
And pass.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're just dead. I'll Inquisition you and see what your last card is. Cool. Go ahead.
Alright. Untap. Upkeep, draw. This flips over. And we're gonna go ahead and grab the oven.
Yep, I had another Plague Stinger, Hexproof stuff, Rancor, and I did have an Abrupt Decay, which actually gets to answer the Asmore,
Yeah.
but did not have a second color source. So there was nothing I could do.
That's a shame.
You drew Witch's Oven for turn 2?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Alright, let's play one more. that was pretty
let's
bonkers.
Try to get a game where Michael doesn't get ran over by
Oh yeah.
a bunch of food.
Yeah. Just hucking pies at my creatures.
Yeah.
How rude.
Gordon Ramsay, you know. I mean, the definition of verbal abuse live on television.
Yeah, I mean, I am playing a creature-based deck, and you had the best possible draw against creatures. Yeah, sometimes it just happens. There's not too much you can do. It's a bummer that Urza's Saga gives so much redundancy to that deck, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so many ways to have Oven or Cookbook in play by turn 3.
Oh yeah, like I'm really enjoying the card. I think it's busted. I don't think it's absolutely ban worthy. Like, and I don't want to say anything for sure until we've had like a month.
Yeah,
like it.
I think it's definitely worthy of a ban.
Yeah,
like,
but not immediately emergency ban like Food-Gaak or Bridge from Below was.
Although I do think this deck is fairly similar in its ability to recur a ridiculously large creature with trample on turn 2 through 3.
Look, just ban the Troll.
I don't like that.
Ban the shitty bulk grab from Eldraine.
I don't like that. I want to ban something that actually makes creature decks playable. Because if this is the best deck, you can't really play creatures.
Yeah.
And that's something that Wizards, I think, has typically shied against in the past. Alright, well, we can't keep another one-lander, even though we have double Inquisition and a Plague Engineer. That would have been cool.
I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pitch it as well.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, I had the what was it? I had the Saga, but nothing really to do until that turn 3 when it came online, and also yeah, like I could have hoped for Oven or a what's it called, Cookbook, but nah.
I wonder if Stony Silence is good enough against that deck.
Probably.
Like,
Thinking
shutting down the
Yeah.
Oven and the, whatchamacallit.
Cookbook, like I have
really
no
good.
food generation then.
Yeah. There's no way to just recur anything, really.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, interesting. Not something you would typically expect against a deck like that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
5, 6, 7.
Right.
Okay.
I like this hand a lot better.
Me too. I'm actually just gonna put this one back, even though we boarded that card in.
Alright.
I am going to shock an Inquisition.
Alright, would you like the supplier, push, oven?
I'll just take the push. I'm fine if Lily gets to mill 6 cards and create 1 food, because that's basically what these 2 cards do, so go ahead.
Draw for turn. Yeah, I'll go supplier.
Yep.
Get a Troll King and a Thug in there.
Yep. I will fetch and play a Plague Stinger. Let's
Yes,
go to
sir.
17. Go ahead.
Untap, upkeep. I'll judge the Thug.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4. We'll play the Forest.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play the Oven, triggering the Oval Daredevil.
Oval Chase.
Yeah, Oval Chase Daredevil.
Yep.
We'll play the Book.
Yep.
Yep, good draws are good. And I'll get in for 1.
Sure. 16.
And pass.
Alright, well, now I've just got to take to the sky, so we're going to get in for 1.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Yep. And then, I think just to stop some of these shenanigans, I'm going to fetch, and I'm going to Plague Engineer.
In response to Plague Engineer
Yep.
being cast, I'll go ahead and sack the supply to make a food.
Yep.
Alright,
Okay.
anything I can resolve.
And then, is Cauldron Familiar just a cat, or is it a cat something else?
It's a cat.
Just a cat? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll name cat then. Good.
Alright, and end of turn,
Make a
do
food.
this thing.
Yep.
And we will draw.
Mm-hmm.
We will play the Thug.
Mm-hmm.
We'll shock in the Overgrown Tomb.
Mm-hmm.
We'll...
Make a food.
Oh, yeah. We'll make a food this way. Putting Asmore back on top of deck, and we play the
Yep.
Troll King.
Go to my turn?
Yep.
I will go to combat.
Mm-hmm.
1.
Yep.
Play a Phyrexian Crusader.
Okay.
Go ahead.
End of turn.
Make a food.
Make
Yep.
a food. Untap.
Mm-hmm.
Upkeep. Draw.
Mm-hmm.
We will make a food.
Yep. Yep.
Trigger.
Yep.
This is going to have 3 on. All 2. Find the other book. Playing the other book.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
We'll go into combat.
Yep. Vigilance.
Oh yes, thank you. And we'll go ahead and kill this now.
Sure. Go to me.
And yes.
That's awkward. Plague Stinger.
Yep.
Go.
End of turn. Make a food.
Yep.
Get back my 2 oval chases. Draw. Supplier. Trigger.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and sack supplier, make a food.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to combat.
Sure.
Attack.
Yeah, no bucks.
Alright.
Okay.
We'll sack a food. Bring back Cauldron Familiar. ETBs, dice.
Oh, yeah.
Sack a food.
Alright. Oh. Man.
Dumb interaction.
I know that deck's consistent, but the fact that you always have multiple oval chases every game is kind of wild, considering there's only 3 in the deck.
Yeah.
And you still have 2, like, 4 out of 5 games.
Yes.
That's pretty absurd.
I mean, once you have one, you have all of them, so...
That's not true.
I mean...
Getting one oval chase doesn't get you more oval chases, right?
With Cookbook, it is pretty much the same. Like, yeah, you have a means to interact with the first oval chase if you are playing Surgical or a similar effect. But once you have 2 cookbooks, like, you pretty much have as many oval chases as you need.
Yeah, if you have multiple cookbooks. Yeah. I'm saying...
Or even just one cookbook, like, yeah, this is a free card.
Yeah, yep.
So...
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. I more so meant the fact that you had...
just saw the multiples.
Exactly, yep. Alright, well, we had to bottom our Putrefacts, unfortunately.
I think that was a good call.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, I don't think creature decks are really playable if that's going to be the number 1 deck. So,
I'm fine with this.
I mean, if that's the case, that's just not going to be a deck. Like, so maybe you shouldn't be fine with it. Because my opinion is, if that's the case, and that's how things are going to be in Modern, there's going to be a very quick ban. I don't think Wizards really enjoys when people have, not even entire decks, but entire archetypes that spread across multiple decks just completely wiped out. So, like, you can't really play humans, you can't really play any aggressive D&T decks, you can't play Infect, although... Let's be honest, this wasn't really a deck you could play before. You can't play Merfolk, you can't play Elves, right? Like, these are all decks that you can't play if this deck is around. And if that's going to be the case, then they're probably going to have to hit something. And my guess is it would probably be Cookbook and or Asmore as the cards that are pretty prohibitive. And I think that if what they're trying to do is let creatures be played, it would probably be Asmore itself. Because Asmore is really the card that... lets you prey on those creatures. So, it's kind of my thought. What are you thinking, Lily?
I'm thinking... Like, yes, it will probably get banned, but I don't think it'll get banned, like, immediately or on the next ban list. I think it'll take a while of people complaining about the deck or about the card for it to get banned. And I am puzzled because I cannot find my Third Fatal Push. Oh, the Third Fatal Push card.
I don't have it, I promise.
I believe you. Okay, I'm
Found
just
it.
blind.
Found it. Yeah, I mean, that could be the case. I think they've been a lot better about, like, hearing mass outcry of people's decks not really being good enough.
Yeah.
And although they're not quick at responding, I think they've tried to be a bit better. So, although I'm not calling, like, week 1, this card's canned, right? Like, I think there's a pretty reasonable chance that within July, the card is gone.
Yeah.
Especially with Return to Play happening. Like, people are going to play in paper with this. And, like, the first time this happens to someone playing their pet deck, like they're not going to want to play Magic, right?
And why do Jund players still consistently come to events?
Well, like, your deck's going to beat the crap out of Jund too, right? Like,
yeah, but, like, if people don't like playing decks because complain about that deck being invalidated by stuff like, why do Jund players still come? Like, that deck gets validated by everything. Like, it's barely an archetype anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they got some cool stuff when they got Ren in 6, right? That was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, no, I'm with you. But, yeah, I mean, that deck feels absurd. It's put up some really, really solid results online. I've seen Doomwake has played it a bunch and has put a bunch of work into it. I am of the opinion now, after playing against it, that feels like the kind of deck that is ban-worthy. That doesn't feel like the kind of deck that's really healthy for a metagame, which is kind of the litmus test. Like,
yeah.
You can fight against it, you can have, like, rest in pieces, but, like, even if you have a rest in piece, if they just get to, like, Nature's Claim or do anything post-sideboard, like, they have other cards that do things. It's not all about the graveyard all the time, right? So maybe Stony Silence is good enough, though. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No. Like, this deck was sweet. The Affinity, like,
Affinity was sick.
gave me nostalgia, but it's probably not good.
Maybe if Thought Monitor was like 1 less mana,
Yeah.
it might be a little better.
Oh, yeah, I actually had Opal.
But then it's 2 less mana.
Yeah. So?
Yeah.
The whole deck is 2 less mana.
I really liked our first matchup. I think both of those decks are really cool.
Oh, yeah.
The Titan versus Esper. That was really interesting, really intriguing. So hopefully those will be the kind of decks that'll start to rise. And I wonder if Esper would be good enough because you do get to pack. You could play Containment Priest. You can play Rest in Peace. You could play Stony Silence. All those important white sideboard cards to maybe hate at the GAC deck, if you will. So
yeah. And, like, you don't even need to activate your equipment for them to be useful. They all have Living Weapon.
yeah, except for the sword.
Yeah.
But you just don't find the sword then.
Yeah, side it out. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, solid stuff. More just really, really cool cards. And the crazy thing is we still haven't even gotten through all of the decks that we've built to play, right? Like, we still have an Urza Upheaval deck we'd really like to get in there at some point. I think there's more work to be done on the Enchantress deck. John still has more Humans decks he'd like to play. Basically, MH2 has given us endless possibilities of things to do. So, yeah, stay tuned for more, hopefully to come. Like we said in the previous episode, I will be out for quite a while, but if you have any ideas, cards to brew around, interesting decks, anything cool like that, feel free to find us on Twitter at CollectiveFO2. Collective effort had been taken, so that's as close as we could get. But yeah, feel free to find us there, tag us in lists, find cool cards, comment down below. Anything else, Lily?
No, not really.
All right. Cool. Well, that's what we've got for you today. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.